The steamroller. We've all seen them. The person who turns a simple "tell me about yourself" into a hostile takeover. First up, the steamroller. This candidate walks in like they already own the place. They lean too far forward, they interrupt the hiring manager mid-sentence, and they have a habit of calling everyone champ. You'll notice they've brought a leather portfolio, probably empty, just to slam it on the table for effect. Their handshake is a dominance contest, and they maintain eye contact for way too long. They're not here to answer questions. They're here to negotiate a corner office before they've even been offered a water cooler. And when they ask, "What can you do for me?" that's your cue that you're in the presence of a legend, at least in their own mind. The sweaty palm. Let's be honest, in every waiting room you'll find them, the sweaty palm. This is the person who has rehearsed their answers so many times that they've forgotten how to speak like a human. They show up with a folder that's already dog-eared from nervous fidgeting. They check their watch every 30 seconds, not because they have another appointment, but because they're calculating how much longer they have to survive. They bring a bottle of water, take a sip, and immediately choke on the first question. They're the one who asks if they can turn the air conditioning down because it's just a little warm in here, while sweating through their best blazer. Their handshake feels like a wet fish. They have great answers inside their head, but their mouth just won't cooperate. And they'll definitely send a follow-up email 5 minutes after they leave. The over-preparer. This is the candidate who treats an interview like an exam. They roll in with a briefcase that clicks open to reveal a perfectly organized spreadsheet of the company's quarterly earnings. The over-preparer has studied your LinkedIn profile back to 2012, and they know your dog's name. They come with 3 printed copies of the resume, a 5-year plan, and a laminated list of references. They'll ask you specific questions about your third-quarter marketing strategy, and they'll correct you if you get a number wrong. They're polite, efficient, and terrifying. You will never see them smile, but you will see them take notes on you. They sit perfectly straight, hands folded on the table, like a robot sent from a Silicon Valley startup. They're ready for any question, except maybe, "What do you do for fun?" The oversharer. And we can't forget the one who mistakes a job interview for a therapy session, the oversharer. From the moment they sit down, they start telling you about their cat's dietary restrictions and their childhood fear of escalators. They get too comfortable, too fast. They kick their feet up, just a little, and start talking about how this position really speaks to their soul. They'll tell you about their side hustle, their spiritual awakening, and that one time they cried during a TED Talk. They don't bring a portfolio, they bring a story, and they're not afraid to use it. They're warm, they're charming, and you've just spent 15 minutes talking about their personal life without learning a single thing about their professional skills. But hey, at least they're not boring. The "I'll figure it out." This type walks in with zero preparation but an immense amount of confidence. They didn't research the company. They didn't read the job description. Their resume still has the wrong company name on it from the last application. But they've got vibes. The "I'll figure it out" person sits back, cracks a joke, and hopes you don't ask anything technical. When you ask about their experience with project management software, they say, "I'm a fast learner." When you ask about a challenge they faced, they say, "I work well under pressure." It's a masterclass in saying absolutely nothing. They're not lying, they're just banking on the idea that personality beats qualifications. And sometimes it does. But for now, they're leaning back in their chair, spinning a pen, and praying you don't notice they haven't used Excel since high school. The know-it-all. Last, but definitely not least, the know-it-all. This candidate has an answer for everything, even when you didn't ask a question. They've heard it all, seen it all, and they're more than happy to tell you how you could be doing it better. They lean into the camera, if it's a video call, or they lean right across your desk in person. They drop jargon like synergy, disruptive innovation, and growth hacking. They don't just answer the question, they correct the question. You ask, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And they say, "First, let's talk about where the company sees itself." They're brilliant, annoying, and probably right. But they spend so much time proving they're the smartest person in the room that you forget to ask if they can actually work with a team. So next time you're prepping for an interview, just remember, don't be the oversharer, and definitely don't be the steamroller. Be the person who's prepared but human, confident but not cocky. That balance is the sweet spot. And hey, if all else fails, just bring a bottle of water and try not to choke on it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more workplace content. Thanks for watching.